What's up, guys? Welcome to the Calisthenics Hub. You know, it's your boy Jeff here from New York. We got Ron. Can't wait to introduce him. He's Ron. Are you from New York as well?
Yeah.
Awesome. So he's a local athlete. One of my friends from that I train with every now and then. He put me on to him, and I had the pleasure of interviewing him. So let's just get straight to it and let's find out more about Ron. Ron, let me know exactly where from New York, if you don't mind, more or less, and how old are you and how you got into calisthenics?
So I'm from Mayapack. That's where I live now. I'm 43, and I've been doing calisthenics, strict calisthenics, for about 7 years now. 6-7 years.
Yeah. So what got you into that? What motivated you? Was there a specific athlete by any chance?
Ito Portal.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One of my buddies who's doesn't really work out much, but at the time I was, I've always been like into movement in a certain sense. I've been a martial artist since I was 9. So I did Oyama karate, did that for like 3 years. Then I got into small circle jiu-jitsu, Professor V stuff, from 13 till about 20. From 20 on, I started what's called I would call it my mother art, the art I've stuck with since then, which is Kempo karate. So I've always been active in like a physical sense. I was a cop for a while. I was in the SWAT team for a while. So, I taught defensive tactics on there. And so I've always been into, I guess, using my body and learning how to master my body. Been meditating for like 15 years. So I've done Qigong. So the mind-body connection's always been a thing for me since I was really young. And when I saw this dude move, when I saw Ito move, I was like, holy shit. And I saw Simon Monster, I forgot his name, but like
Simon Monster, yeah. That dude is a beast too, yeah.
He's a beast too, yeah. So those two guys kind of like blew my mind. And since then I was like, what is this? I want to learn more about it. How do I move like that? At the time I was doing like more traditional lifting, like deadlift, just the typical
body
bro workout. Right. Not even body weight. I mean, like I wasn't even doing dumb, stupid shit that like gets you nowhere, it gets you big, and
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
So, I made some inroads fairly quickly, and then I plateaued for a real long time. And then more recently, within the past, I guess I would call it a year, I've been hitting some of my, like a new stride, and I've been getting some of the, tricks or whatever you want to call it.
The skills.
Yeah, the skills, like lever, revert, like back lever, front lever, handstands, muscle ups, working on a planche. Haven't got that yet. But yeah, so I'm using Grease the Groove right now for the specific skill sets that I want to master or get really better at. But it's become a lifestyle, and it's really cool, man. It's just opened my mind to a different way of moving my body. I don't train for like, 45 minutes and done. It's more of like an all day sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's a lifestyle. So it's very cool.
Absolutely. So you mentioned Grease the Groove. Which in particular skill are you using that for?
Front lever and planche.
Gotcha.
So I could do a lever I do like a 20-second lever hold, but I'm just trying to really be able to stick it and maybe do some other things with it. Back lever, same thing, like, maybe 10, 15-second holds.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to transition into your planche training, man. Absolutely. Yeah. That's a lot of scapula and core conditioning and whatnot. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. So you already mastered a few. Nice, Ron. Greg was telling me that, you mastered the muscle up and on the rings. You use the rings.
I don't do any, I really don't do any straight bar work.
Okay, all rings.
I'm a ring guy, yeah.
Dude, that's even better, man, because your strength is just like tenfold, in my opinion, due to the instability factor that the rings provide. Once I got put onto them, I try to train them as much as possible. I've seen those strength gains just because of, like, as I mentioned, that factor. Now that we know you're training for planche and to master the other ones as well, because we know if you don't use it, you lose it in this game. Do you structure your training in a way where it's skill and strength, or tell me, how do you structure your training nowadays?
So absolutely. So I'm always constantly mixing it up just because I don't want to get into my habit, and I'm always trying to confuse my body. So
you don't want to get too comfortable.
Yeah, I don't want to get too comfortable. So like today I did some ring work and then I jumped on, like my thing is I got a somewhat of a big yard. I got like 4 acres. I live upstate. Sure. And I just love getting on the grass barefoot and just doing like, you know, I'll do bear crawls, I'll do snake, lizard walk, like all those lizard crawls, like all those different things. Movements. Yeah, I'm constantly sitting in a squat no matter what. So I'm like, you know, I'm the Edo Portal challenge with the 30-minute squat a day and 7-minute hang. That's been like my thing for, I don't know, like a year and a half now.
Wow.
So I'm doing that religiously. Yeah. Sitting in a squat is huge, dude. It's like opened up mobility for me in a big way. I have actually spinal stenosis and degenerative disc disease and scoliosis.
Okay.
From being a cop. And so that's, I'm not a cop anymore, but look, when I was on the job, I fucked my back up. And so staying mobile, it's not an option for me. It really isn't. It's like either I do this and I stay mobile and or I become a cripple.
right, so, because of the scoliosis and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my spine, like, you know, one thing Edo Portal says, and actually a lot of yogis talk about it, like the health of your spine will determine almost like the course of your life. So if you have a healthy, mobile spine, you're going to live a good, long, healthy life. And if you keep it that way, if you don't, then, you know, try to live a healthy, vibrant life with a fucked up spine. Hope you don't mind me cursing.
No, that's all good. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So, spine health is huge. So it's not an option. And sitting in a squat has done wonders. But, you know, when I throw my back out, I become a cripple. So there's been a couple of times where even recently, the last 2 weeks, about 2 weeks ago, actually, I should say, I threw it out and I couldn't really move much at all for like a week.
Oh,
so yeah, it sucks, man. When you get, you know, you look kind of young, you're probably in your 20s.
I just hit 30 Friday, bro.
What?
This really? Friday. Yeah, man.
Good, dude.
My dad looks young for it. He's like in his mid-50s. So I feel like it's just the genetics, you know.
Yeah, you got good genes. You want the gene lottery.
Man. That and I've always had like a little basic, like fundamental as far as like dips and push-ups and chin-ups, not pull-ups, but chin-ups, just because my dad was in the military and he's always on that movement as well. So seeing him growing up kind of instilled that within me. So
that's good.
That, you know, it is what it is, you know, like, but yeah, man, that's great that you're doing that to, well, like you said, for health and staying healthy and mobile.
Yeah.
That's what I realized, that this right here is for the long term, the long game.
It has to be, man. Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we shouldn't rush anything.
Right, exactly. That's one thing about calisthenics that like a lot of people get into it and they're like, they see all these different skill sets that people can do and all the, you know, and they're like, holy shit. And a lot, you know, so like people come over to my house and we're hanging out in my yard and like, you know, I got a pool over here and like, you know, I'll do my thing, like whether it's some of my friends or like family friends, and they'll see me do like whatever. Right. And they'll like, you know, come over and they don't think it's that hard. And then they start trying to do it and they realize like, it ain't easy, dude, especially on rings. Yeah, so
especially on the rings.
Yes, it is definitely a long-term marathon.
Yeah, man. So speaking of long-term, right? We already know that recovery is a huge aspect to the long-term game, and just to make sure you put that maximum effort every time.
Yeah.
How do you? Because you say for you train on reach the groove, and that's pretty much almost every day, kind of so to speak.
I train every day. I try. Days that I don't train, I try to at least do my hangs and my squats and like just some simple movement stuff. So recovery for me involves, I love the cold. So anything cold, like, cold showers, I wake up in the morning. The first thing I do after I roll out of bed is I have well water too. So the water gets brutally cold. It's like 50 degrees. I take a cold shower. The first thing I do is I get out of bed is I take a cold shower. So, and I take like, not like 30-second cold shower. I take like a 5 to 10 minute cold shower.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like calisthenics is a big part of it is, telling your body to do something it doesn't want to do. So it's willpower, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, honing willpower is big. So for me, sitting under cold water, now it's like an addiction. Now I love it. Now it's become, I do like Wim Hof. I don't know if you heard of him. I did a Wim Hof breathing thing. So for me, recovery is cold showers. I have an infrared sauna that I use. I take something called systemic prolytic enzymes, which basically attacks the rogue proteins in your body. So the fibrin in your body, and that's, that basically cuts DOMS in half, delayed onset muscle soreness. So it will cut your recovery time in half.
In half. Okay.
In half. So if you do, say you're doing a pull day today, like today, if I did a pull day, normally you would want to wait at least 2 to 3 days. I can wait, the day after tomorrow, I'm good for a full on another crazy pull day.
Wow.
So you can get more volume in every day. And, during the week, some more, for me, volume is more important than volume over a long period of time is what my goal is. Right. So I don't want to kill it every day, because if I'm doing that, then I need more recovery time. So I don't always plateau. I don't always go to my limit. And there's days that I do that. So there's days I go to failure, but doing that at my age too, I'm 44 with my back condition. I have some shoulder issues. I'm trying to go for longevity, right? It is a marathon. So
yeah.
Fish oil. I'm huge on fish oil. I'm huge on, eating healthy. So I was keto for a while. That's been great. Intermittent fasting every day is my thing. So sometimes I'll do OMED, which is 1 meal a day.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll condense it to like a 3-hour window. Most days it's usually a 4-hour window of my feeding.
Do you feel like intermittent fasting has been a huge benefit for your training and life and overall?
Huge, everything. Yeah.
I'm looking into it, but I'm still not convinced. But I love food, man. And
dude,
I feel like I need to eat it.
It depends. Well, it depends what your goal, right? If you want to just bulk the fuck up as much as you can and get as huge as you can, it could be hard, because getting your having restricted calorie window to 8 hours is easy, right? 8 hours, you can get everything you want in 8 hours.
Sure, I'm sure you can.
As the window gets smaller, the amount of time you have to get those calories in is harder.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm not trying to get huge. I'm just trying to be able to move. I'm trying
to maintain your body weight. What's your body weight and what's your height?
Yeah. So I'm 5'10", 192.
Pretty stocky guy.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I've been maintaining that for some time now.
So you feel comfortable with that, and like you said, you're doing this in the long term, because as we know, the heavier you are in calisthenics, the harder things become.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Another thing, I've been working on lower body, like pistol squats, things of that nature, bridges. I
love pistol squats, man.
Yeah, man.
They humbled me, but now I feel stronger in my legs.
Yeah, hell yeah.
In the beginning, they humbled the shit out of me, bro. But now, I can do like 4 on each leg. And you know what surprised me? I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know what surprised me? My leg that I thought was not most dominant as far as strength.
Yeah, you do.
Is my best one that I can do. Like I'm so mobile in that fucking leg, right, bro. So I'm a righty naturally. So my left leg, I go down, bro, like smooth and control, bro. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is supposed to be my not so good leg. What's going on here? And then, I'm thinking maybe it's because my leg, my right side is so dominant that it's so strict as far as mobility. So I have the strength, but I don't have the mobility aspect.
You don't have the flexibility, bro.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Pistol squats, a lot of pistol squats it is strength, but a lot of it it's what's your hip mobility. Dude, sitting in a squat is huge, man. I mean, like if you can just sit comfortably in a squat with your ass to the almost, you don't want your ass touching the floor.
Ass to heel.
Dude, I mean, like I would do it now. It don't look ridiculous, but you want to get.
I know what you mean. And this is probably why y'all see a lot of and just in general on the internet, a lot of Asian, they usually sit all the time, no matter where they're at. They squat right in position. And I'm like,
it's in their culture. The Japanese dude, it's in their culture. I don't know what you're saying. It's in their culture to squat. That's how they sit. That's how 100,000 years ago we didn't have chairs. We've been on this as humans, as Homo sapiens for 100,000 years. We didn't have couches. We didn't have chairs.
Right. All these luxuries to sit. Yeah.
Right. We didn't have when we wanted to sit around a fire, we squatted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how we crapped. That's how we ate. So it's just learning what we already know how to do innately as humans. Right.
Yeah. Which is that body movement, man. And then mastering the movement.
Right. And the last part of recovery for me is
let's get back to
Epsom salt bath and meditation.
Cool. Meditation. I want to get into meditation just because I feel like it's been a trend now that I've been doing these interviews, and I see how important that is to have that not just the mind and muscle connection for the exercise, but also for other purposes, you know, to relax you before you go in this. You can go clear-minded and visualize. And like I had this one kid, 16 years old, telling me he meditates at least 10 minutes before every training to visualize what he's gonna do, and then he gets it better every time that he started doing this.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna visualize the shit out of the planche.
It's true. It works. It works. I've been doing it for like 15 years as far as meditation, but you know, incorporating that into a calisthenic practice is huge. It's just it's the amount of noise, right? It's like the signal to noise in your mind. So if you're doing, I don't know, if you're trying to do a lever, or if you're trying to do something hard, whatever you're working on, right? And your mind's all over the place. You're thinking about what you got to do next. You're thinking about what your girlfriend just said. You're thinking, even the music you listen to in a certain sense has an effect on your workout, right? So like I've been playing with, you know, I've been a metalhead my whole life. So like for me, like metal's my thing. Not like crazy shit, but like, you know, like I'm like 90s grunge, that type of stuff. So whether it's Foo Fighters or Megadeth, whatever it is, I'm messing with that. And there's also a whole nother side of me that likes, you know, like ambient, like meditation type, you know, music, right? It gets your mind in a really like good place. And then playing with those two and like finding out where the sweet spot is and really what I can do. Can I do more if I'm like, you know, like that angry, like rah, or is it more like is it getting zenned out? Right.
Yeah.
And for me, when I do the movement stuff, like if I'm doing like the stuff on the floor, like Ito stuff and trying to do like that kind of stuff, for me, I'll listen to like stuff that's more relaxing and flowy. But if I'm trying to like, you know, plateau out, I'm trying to grind out like as many muscles up as I can, then I'll go for like the heavier stuff. Yeah. But it's true, like getting the correct mindset and really clearing your mind, you'll get more reps. You'll be able to you'll be more in command of your body.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, it's funny you mentioned, you know, the heavy metal to muscle ups and then like the skill to the tranquil stuff, because when I kind of train, you know, I get pumped up through different music. You know, I'm a 90s baby, so it's been, you know, System of a Down, for example, sometimes, or you know, or it can even be just like electronic, just because I'm that diverse, you know, as far as like my music choices. Something that gets me pumped up for some strength training, like, you know, like dips, pull-ups, and push-ups. But then when I get into the skills, dude, I like to like make sure I'm thinking about that mind-muscle connection. So I'm gonna start maybe putting some headphones on and listening to some Zen stuff, or even just nature, because I love nature stuff, like nature sounds, and that shit clears my mind. So maybe I'm gonna try with different sounds, man. I'm gonna try that out.
Yeah, there's another cool hack you can do with your breathing, because breathing, I mean, like it all comes down to your breath, or it all comes down to breathing. There's a really cool breathing technique that you can do, which is 2 breaths into your nose, and then 1 slow breath out through your mouth. That will, just doing that, just for me, like, and I've done this for a while, that will just put you into a state like that. It just clears out all the noise, and it's called an active sigh, and you actually do it when you're sleeping. You know, we don't know what we're doing when we're sleeping, but your body normally does it to relieve stress when you're sleeping in certain states. But you can actually do it in a waking alert state. And if you're stressed out and somebody just cut you off on the road or whatever it is, or you're about to do a handstand, you're trying to get max reps out, or whatever it is. Yeah. Max time hold. Do that twice in through your nose, and then 1 long exhale through your mouth. Do that like 2 or 3 times in a row, and then try to do whatever skill set you're trying to do. You'll notice a massive difference. And it's kind of like crazy how much of a difference you'll notice.
Yeah, man. I'm going to start zenning before I get into this handstand, because that's another journey I'm going through right now.
Handstand?
Yeah. I got the form right. You know, I'm doing the exercises to get stronger, so form is there. I think what I got to start working on is on my negatives, just so I can get my balance going. Yeah, because I'm doing negatives up, and then I wobble, and I belay out either right or left, but I gotta get my 3 seconds is my max hold right now, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's a journey, and I love it. It
is, man. Absolutely. You know, what you can do is handstand push-ups are huge, but do it with your chest to the wall, not your back to the wall.
Chest to wall. Yep. Chest to wall is one way I do it. Actually, the only way I do it. And now I started adding parallettes just to get more full range of motion.
Yeah.
Just to that's a whole. Then I've been messing with tempo. So I got the timer on my phone, and I just go at second by second, and that's also been a huge help as far as overall strength. But like I said, it's the balance. And I think it's a lot of pelvic for me. Like I gotta use more of my core and squeeze my glutes and all that. It's a lot of things at once, man. Shit.
I know. What you could do, I mean, like you want to try to incorporate everything you can into like each set and each rep. So like for me, my chin-ups are brutal. What I do for chin-ups, I'll do chin-ups on rings, and I'll do an eccentric. So I'll do a five, I guess, I don't know, you want to call it like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 kind of like drop set in a certain sense.
Gotcha.
So I'll do the first, it's 5 reps, and I'll do 5 sets of each. So it's 5 seconds each rep, eccentric, knee up to L-sit hold. So I'm up, my legs are out, L-sit hold, right?
Yep.
For 5 seconds. So eccentric 5 sec up, 5 second hold, decentric 5 second down. The next rep is 4 seconds up, 4 seconds L-sit hold, 4 seconds down. The next is 3, then 2, then 1.
Gotcha.
And I'll do that 5 times in a row for chin-ups. And that's brutal because you're working everything.
Yeah, that's fucking brutal. That's like when I started adding tempo to my handstand push-ups.
Basically the same thing.
I went from 10 to 5, and I'm like, geez.
Yeah, dude.
We go out the door.
Yeah. A lot of people, and I see guys at the gym all the time. They'll get on a pull-up bar and they're cranking them out. It's just it's all momentum, dude. You want to Bruce Lee said his big thing is time under tension. So how much time do you have your body under tension, and how much can you command? Are you commanding the weight, or is the weight commanding you, right? Are you controlling the weight, or is the weight controlling you? Are you controlling your body, or are you letting momentum kind of carry you through?
Yep.
And the way to figure that out is slow the fuck down.
Yep. Time under tension.
If you can control your body during a slow eccentric, decentric, or a hold, and repeat that you will get some serious gains by doing that.
Absolutely. It's like when you first start doing pull-ups and you work on negatives.
Right.
Same example. But now that now you should work on it more to get stronger. I completely agree, man. I should take my own advice every now and then.
Yeah.
It's the ego, man. It's the ego, for me at least. I get out there, I want to start doing pull-ups, and then I want to get into the planche training. But I gotta remember it's a journey. But yeah, as you were saying, Ron,
the cool thing is once you get you're talking about the ego thing, there is something that calisthenics about going into a regular gym after you've been doing it for a while, and then be able to do some certain skills, because people look at you when you first walk into the gym. I mean, how many guys, I go to New York Sports Club up by me, and there's maybe one other dude that does some strictly calisthenics stuff, but most everybody there is just
weight training.
They're dumbbell monkeys.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. You know what I mean? Weight training, and just there's how many of them can actually touch their feet or sit in a deep squat, So occasionally I'll go there, and I'll just go there just to see what everybody else is doing. It's just kind of just to, I don't want to say show off, but it's good to train in different environments, and just to see and just to work with different. And it's good once in a while to actually grab a cable machine and use that, or actually do use some free weights and stuff like that, just to, there are muscles that you want to stimulate, and body weight does do, and calisthenics does do, but once in a while it's good to throw some weights in there. So I do that. But it's also good just to kind of garner,
environment, man. And why
man,
not show off your stuff, bro? If you've been working hard towards it, why not?
If you can walk in and hold a planche for 20 seconds, that's kind of cool.
Do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, man.
And it helps. Honestly, what it actually does too. It actually, talking about the community and what you're doing here, I've had a lot of people walk up to me after I've done a workout in the gym and start asking me questions. And what it does is it raises awareness for calisthenics. And it shows people there's another way, and a better way, in my opinion, of working out that's safer. You don't have to limit yourself to doing the bro split or whatever. Doing body weight training. Weight training. I wasn't huge. I could do a 400-pound deadlift, but that was it. There's guys that could do way more than me, but I'm in a way better place now than I've ever been, as far as I'm 44. I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 18. And it's all because of calisthenics.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, bro. Yeah. And we're only going to continue getting stronger as more we practice, and, the discipline that we put and the effort that we put towards it. So
yeah, man.
Tell me now.
Just not giving up.
Exactly. Don't give up, because we already know it takes time. And nobody has that gift and talent. I mean, some of us do. Some of those rushing guys just
some
talented. But like, you know, we all know who the guys are that are really talented. Let's not get into it. This is Ron's interview. But yeah, Ron, tell me more about your motivation now. What's your motivation now? You know, after so many years of training, and you know, you've done a couple disciplines as well, such as martial arts. You know, what keeps you motivated in field now?
It's twofold. One, I have to do it it's a passion, right? So it's like it's a thing that's like, if I don't do it, it's almost like breathing or walking for me. It's like I have to do it. You know, this has become something that's just part of my life.
Yep.
It's not like a hobby. It's a lifestyle, right? So what in work, you know, just being able to move my body. So I want to be able to. I have a 4-year-old, and I want to be able to lift him and play with him and do stuff with him. And as he gets older, teach him martial arts and do all the things that, you know, I want to be able to do as a father. Sorry, my phone cut out again. And in order to do that, I need to be strong. Mm-hmm. So there's options as far as weightlifting isn't an option for me anymore, just because I love calisthenics. The other motivation factor is because it's the mind-body thing. And, you know, meditation for me is a huge part of my life. And the more I learn how to have that connection and be able to, I guess, get rid of the noise in my brain and, you know, my life and this, you know, and all the stress and all that, it's a method for me to become more grounded.
Yeah.
So my and, you know, obviously this being able to, you know, hit some certain skills, and like everybody has their idols, and the guy, you know, who wants to not move like Ito or Simon, you know, those are my guys that I kind of like hold to a seriously high level.
Right.
Also, Royce Goldsmith, who was Ito was one of Ito's first students. He does some incredibly amazing stuff that you know, I think like he is actually one of, you know, Ito's gone a sort of like one direction, Royal's gone another one. You know, the dude's like, I've never seen a guy with that kind of physique. I'm not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but the guy
I'm not too sure, no, but definitely when we're done,
I'll shoot you the stuff that he can do, and his like amount of mobility is just crazy. I mean, you don't really see him on rings that much, but like, you know, one-handed handstands with the full leaning side, like all those different like crazy stuff that
statics does. Statics are crazy, man.
Yeah, it's just crazy, dude. And you know, and that's it. You know, it's become, I have to move because I have to, because if I don't, then I won't be able to.
Yeah. As you mentioned earlier.
That's my motivation.
But your 2 earlier motivations is great too as well. You know, not only because you need to do it for health reasons, but you know, doing it for your son and being able to, as he grows older, you're gonna speed right along with him.
So yeah, he hangs on the rings, dude. When I work out, he actually jumps on. He swings on the rings with me. It's cool.
He's gonna be a little protege.
Yeah, dude. I'm teaching him how to do handstands. I'm teaching him how to do rolls now. So like, you know, teaching him a little bit of karate now. He's only 4, so like there's only so much he can absorb and do.
Of course.
Yeah, but
you got him at a young age, you know, and he's gonna learn, especially if he likes it, of course. You know what I mean? As I said, you know, seeing my father doing some of the things instilled me when I was younger, so I'm sure it's gonna happen same way. You know, monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. You know,
exactly.
It is what it is.
Exactly. You know, like one checkbox I want to be able to eventually check off is breakdancing. You know, it's like,
and you can't do calisthenics. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. So like, you know, I have white boy syndrome, so I have like no rhythm. I cannot dance at all. But I figured if I can start breaking, dude, maybe something will, you know, I don't know, whatever. So that's like one thing, like down the road, I eventually want to be able to get into. So having the ability to do some of those things, to be able to segue into that, maybe some capoeira, you know, like Ito's into like, you know, that martial art too. Actually, I might start playing with some BJJ soon too. So
okay, all right.
Next progression.
So you got some aspirations, you got some things that you're planning to do. Are you planning to do anything as well with calisthenics? Like any you mentioned you're working towards the planche, but anything else?
So so planche is full planche is now what I'm working towards. Handstand to planche is another thing I want. So straight up, and then being able to level out with the planche. those are the big, planche right now is kind of like what I've been focusing on. Lever up, I'm doing it I just started with Grease the Groove. If I could give anybody any advice, if you're kind of like working, if you really want to get one skill set down, that's what it's all about, dude. And if anybody doesn't know what it is, you can look it up. But Grease the Groove is basically, if you think about it logically, right? So if you're trying to work one specific skill set, if you're trying to get a lever and you're only working it twice a week, and say you're doing, whatever it is, you're doing 5 reps of lever raises or holds for like 5 seconds, whatever it is, with regressions, you're only be able to do it. There's only a certain amount of volume you can get in a week, right? And you're only doing twice a week because you need time to recover. Or Grease the Groove, you do it every single day. And if your max lever hold is, say, 10 seconds, you can reduce that to 5 seconds or 8 seconds, right? So you're going to do, I would actually even go lower. I would do 50% of your max hold, but you're doing it all day. In the sense of every hour on the hour, you're going to walk in wherever your pull-up bar is. If you have a pull-up bar in your house, it's obviously clutch.
Yeah.
Or if you're working planche, same thing. You can do a planche hold, but you're basically going to do it every hour on the hour. It doesn't have to be exactly the hour. You need enough time to recover between each sets. And you're only doing 50% of your max of whatever it is. And that can actually work for the cool thing about Grease the Groove. You can do it for push-ups. You can do it for pull-ups. You can do it for dips. You can do it for anything. Actually, stuff that's not related to calisthenics as well. So if you're a shooter, if you want to learn how to shoot better, if you want to learn how to shoot basketball, whatever it is, whatever skill set, you want to be more flexible. That's the difference between training and like actually practicing a skill set and practicing it every day and getting better and having that mind muscle connection. Yeah. So I think that's for right now. It's planche. That's kind of like right now it's my nemesis. I can hold a planche. I can hold a tuck planche. I can hold like a 20-second tuck planche. Nice. But getting those fucking legs out, dude.
Yeah, once you get to the advance, and I was able to push it to frog straddle, but then like I'm not protracting my scapula, my form is horrible, and I'm like, fuck it, why am I even doing this shit for? Because it's not even worth it. Like it's not even beautiful form. Like no, that's taken away from the exercise. So I just regressed right back to tuck, and I'm gonna master tuck. And then maybe go to advanced tuck. Advanced tuck it's I'm learning it. It's love and hate. Planche is love and hate. I'm sure a lot of us can agree with that. It's once you get it, man.
Oh, that's the thing, dude. Once you get it was like this. You know what the thing is? Once you what I've noticed is except muscle ups, man. Muscle ups have been a motherfucker for me, and I think it's just because I'm a little heavier than I need to be as far as like I don't know. Maybe it's a shoulder thing. I got like shoulder issues. Muscle ups has been a nemesis for me too. Lever, for some reason, I kind of like just got it.
Okay.
I've been messing with it for some time, and then once I got it. Same thing with handstands. Handstands, it's been a bitch forever, but then I was able to actually nail it. Earlier this summer is the first time I was actually able to nail a handstand. And since then, it's been like not a big deal.
So when you say nail it, right, it was like you came off the wall and you held it for 5, 10, 15. Yeah. What was that? Like that?
Yeah,
like
me and Greg, and actually, like I remember, like a year and maybe like even 2 years ago, me and Greg were at UFC up by me, and we were like both like trying to like hold it for like 3 seconds. Like we'd fall. Now I can do like 30-second handstand hold.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah. So it's and I don't kick my legs up. I'll do it from a tuck. So I'll do it from a crow, right? A crow position.
Yep.
So crow to a tuck to all the way up, and then I hold it. That's like how I do it.
That's control, man. That's control. Yeah. Because it's segments of into the
right. Yeah. I take it in kind of like segments, like you said, instead of just kicking my legs up. I find it easier, but it's harder. It's weird to do in that way.
Because then when you're kicking up, you gotta
hold that momentum. Right?
Yeah. You gotta control that going up. Yeah. But I hear that a good way of working towards that is the negative coming down.
Yeah.
So just some YouTube stuff that I've seen, some things that I'm supposed to be doing right now. But I love the kickoff the wall. I feel like I want to get at least 5 seconds off that and then start working. But maybe that's not the point. Maybe 3 seconds is only the max I'm going to get until I start working on negatives.
Yes. Who knows? A big part of it is core too, man. You need to have crazy core strength.
Yeah. I'm working on that. I'm doing a lot of reverse hypers.
Nice.
I hear that's great for the planche and overall just handstand and lever, and because it really gets that core conditioning, but as well with the glutes and the hammies, and it's a killer. I do about 10 reps, and at the end I hold for 10 seconds.
Nice.
I try, man. I've been seeing it get, like I said, my form as far as my planche, even the tuck, I just feel stronger in it now that I've been doing the reverse hypers more. And as well as, like I said, my balance has been getting a bit better on the handstand. So that's awesome, man. What other areas has improved in your life due to calisthenics, as opposed to your physical? I'm sure we mentioned a few already, but is anything specific that you didn't even realize it did help out, and then wow.
Sex life?
Wow, that's a first, bro. Dude, yeah. I've been waiting for somebody to talk about that.
Like,
that's awesome, bro.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I mean, like being 44, you know what I mean? But yeah, so there's that. Having, you know, so here's the thing about calisthenics, right? Going to the gym and like being able to like hit a deadlift or like maxing out your deadlift or a bench press or like, those are cool things. And like, it's, wow, you know, I could do like, you know, 3 plates on a bench, whatever it is, whatever in that mindset that you have, it's cool. And hitting that and being able to do that is one thing. But once you're able to have these skills in calisthenics and be able to like, you work at something for such a long time, and it's like, it takes years. Some skills take years. Some guys just get it like that. Some, you know, I've been working on some skills that take a real long time. So once you kind of like, it's, you know, it's a battle in a certain sense, right? It's you're striving. Once you get that, there's a certain amount of that translates over to life in general of not giving up and having determination and willpower, right? So like getting back to the willpower theme before, what I was talking about with the cold showers, it translates into everything. It's being able to muddle through when shit gets hard. It's having resilience. You know what I mean? So like, shit I've had this 2020 has been a motherfucker over here. So like I'm in the middle of getting a divorce. Yeah, it's just so middle of the divorce. Mom got diagnosed with cancer. Dad's got heart problems. Moved out of my house. Like all this shit, and it happened like the second COVID hit. It's like
sorry to hear that, man.
Boom. No, it's all good. My mom's, you know, it's actually everything's working out for the best. So
good. Glad to hear.
The way calisthenics has helped with all that is having grit. You know what I mean? You need a certain amount of grit and determination to really stick it out and be able to do calisthenics for the long haul, especially the older you get, because it gets harder. And, you know, you see these videos of these like 60-year-old, 70-year-old guys being able to do like muscle ups. I have mad props for those guys, because being able to move your body like that at that age is very cool.
I had the pleasure of seeing this dude actually do it in front of me at one of the parks up here in Washington Heights. He looks like an older gentleman, and, you know, he did a muscle up, and then he's about to like, you know, do a 360, and I'm like, is he gonna do a 360 on this? You know, like it looked like he was prepping, but maybe he thought it like, maybe I can't do this at my age. And he came back down and he just flipped backwards. But I'm like, still, it's agile, you know, like that's amazing. Dude. I'm like, I looked after him. I was like, bro, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Right, exactly. So like that, a lot of those things translate over, and they do transfer to different parts of your life.
Yeah.
So, and that's what calisthenics has done for me. So it's very
awesome, cool, man. That's awesome, brother. I'm glad to hear that, man. And I'm sure we all have these positives that come out of this journey. And as we continue the journey, we're going to get more positives. You know, that's what I see from since I started practicing calisthenics 7 months ago. It's very cool. It's nothing but positive. And my outlook of life has changed entirely. And I'm sure, like you stated, you build resilience, and you get that grit, because you get that discipline, and you get humbled by some skills. Some things take time. And because a big part of it,
that's a very good point, is being humble and being patient with yourself, and real, you know, and once you hit a certain plateau, is now take that and now translate that into and help somebody else, you know, and let that have that skill and the grit that you took in establishing that skill set transfer to something else in your life, and then pass, you know, move, you know, play forward, and see somebody else struggling at the park or something, help them out. You know what I mean? You know, give them some tips and tricks or whatever.
Well, yeah, I totally agree. And I already see the community already doing that. The community is so freaking supportive, man. So freaking supportive. And I met Greg, man, this summer, and I'm like, you know, I see him on rings. I'm like, bro, I'm on rings too. What's good, bro? So I'm like, I see you doing your thing. You know what you're working on. I mean, I have that extrovert personality, so I'm, you know, cool. Calisthenics is like the perfect way for me to interact with others as well. You know,
absolutely.
And the fact that he was able to like just open up like that, because I know a lot of people don't have that ability to do so, because, you know, people don't want to be, especially during COVID times, you know.
Very
but
true,
you know,
man.
we kept our distance, and we still were talking stuff, and just you know, disclaimer.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it was cool, the fact that just two strangers just out of just because of rings were able to connect and talk, and like that to me was awesome, man. I realized that through this project, the community is huge and it's very supportive, man.
It is.
And that, you know, I'm happy that, you know, we have a platform we could talk and you know, just discuss calisthenics and our journeys and just calisthenics in general, you know, because like I said, it's still the sport is still in its infancy, and as it grows, you know, I want to be along for the ride when it grows, because it's such a beautiful thing. It's an art, in my opinion.
It is, man. It's absolutely an art form in its own right.
Yeah, man. That's why I want to see it in the Olympics. It deserves it.
It does. The
sport deserves it.
Yeah, the guys like the bar stars. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of those dudes. Those guys, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, and it's becoming more and more popular. You know, Instagram has its place. It's helping propel it forward.
Yep.
So it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, these platforms are definitely helping get the word out there of the sport. And
the other thing that's helping is COVID.
Yo,
because
that helps
really
tremendously.
I mean, you can go to a gym now, but who the fuck wants to wear a mask?
And sucks, it's so true, because, you know, I researched calisthenics for over a year or two. You know, like I said, I once I found out what calisthenics was, I just need push-ups, chin-ups, and dips because of my dad.
Right. Most people think that's what calisthenics is.
Right. But then I started researching further, and I'm like, dude, I saw, you know, dudes like Simon, I saw Victor Kamenov, Eric Ortiz, like all these great names, and I'm like, fucking, are they defying gravity, dude?
Yeah.
I think that, like, I saw when I was
Simon is like, that dude's like, yeah. And there's a whole bunch of it.
And because, you know, these stars have been elevating the sport, the next generation just comes and elevates it again, and just it keeps going and evolves, and the competitive aspect is beautiful, because it's not like we're competing against others. It's just like, we have to move. I'm going to compete against the move, not the athlete.
You're competing against yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. Like, I'm gonna do this, even though he did that. I'm gonna do it probably even better or longer. Like, that's just that's beautiful, man. And that builds a lot of confidence in oneself. You know, nobody can take it away from you.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you know, it's if you're having a bad day and, you know, you walk into the gym and you establish one kind of skill set, just go into the gym and just do your thing. And if you're feeling depressed or like whatever it is, and trust me, you get a couple of eyeballs looking at you, you're gonna feel better.
Whatever life got you going down, and if it got you down, just go to the gym, do quick muscle.
Hell yeah, dude.
Do a lever of some sort. Just do it. These ladies really quick. You'll be fine.
What I'm trying. I got a girlfriend, so I got to be careful what I say. But you know what I'm trying to say. But
I hear you, man. I hear you. Hey,
I don't go to the gym for that. I don't go to the gym for that. You don't watch the video.
He does it for self-confidence. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. It's a proof of point to himself that he still got it.
Right. Exactly.
I hear you, Ron. Listen, I told my boys, I was like, you know, when it was one of those nights out, I was like, listen, you know, I'm planche training, and, you know, it's going to get to the point, hopefully I get to a planche right in front of a chick. I'm like, write your number right here. I got a table.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Go to the beach, you know what I mean? Bust out a planche, couple of handstands, and be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Everybody in the grandma's
flag.
Everybody in the grandma's looking for. And even if it's like now more known than it was before, it's still impressive, because it's people look at you like you said, they go to your house, they think, oh, I could do this, and they do it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I can't.
Well, they try to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. When they try, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Question.
Sure.
What do you feel like as a community we can improve on, or maybe what can we improve on as a community or a sport?
So I think I mean, I would like, my first thought would be, you know, guys are coming out of the woodwork now to create better workout plans. So like when I first started a couple of years ago, there really wasn't, like 6-7 years ago when I started, there wasn't a lot of guys out there showing how to do certain things. I mean, there was, but now there's more comprehensive programs. Simon has his own program. Actually, I did that program, the level 3. Nice. And he actually just revamped it. It's badass. It's pretty good. He doesn't teach you how to break like he does. He won't do the spinning, like the stuff, like all those crazy things. But as far as like gaining strength to do certain skills, planche, lever, handstands, it's a pretty good program.
Ron, speaking of that, if you're looking for like a breakdance like tutorial or like a program,
Yes.
Michael C. Vasquez on Instagram. He has like a really cool
shoot me a thing if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Once we're done, we'll exchange that. Yeah. I recall seeing something on Instagram. I follow him. Yeah, he has like a lot of calisthenic stuff, and then he does breakdancing as well. So
yeah, so now that's becoming a lot more prominent. So honestly, it's a good question. I'm not sure. I think it's becoming now more and more prominent to the masses, so that's good. I think I think as calisthenics is like being part of this community. The one thing I will say is, and this isn't really so much for the community, but like having a place that you can train, like parks. I think, as it becomes more and more common, I think having calisthenics parks would be cool. And I know there's a lot in the city, but like up north towards me, I think something that could be beneficial is stuff, having places that people can go, COVID, it being what it is, but having like outdoor parks or, more gyms oriented towards this type of sport. Absolutely. So whether that's movement, integrating kind of like all the elements of like calisthenics, not just calisthenics, the movement, like the animal type movements, right? The calisthenics, and then like the strength training, even the gymnastics and tumbling part of it. So like having that whole, and having places like that can teach it. They're popping up. There's more and more. I'm sure there's a few in the city. Edo Portal actually has a school in the city. I'm speaking from my own kind of like, from where I live, that I wish there was more places like that where I live, and more teachers of a higher level teaching in more places. I think that's one thing that we're missing. And if anything, as a business opportunity, I think that's something that would be something advantageous for people to get into.
Well, maybe that might be something you might be looking into, man, for yourself. And, hey,
maybe I've been thinking about it actually.
Light bulb.
I've been thinking about it.
Let me know, man. Let me know if you on social media.
I have to be able to. For me, man, if I don't have all the skills and have mastery of all the skills, I feel like, what am I doing? I can't teach. So like once I'm able to get the plan.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A very high standard for myself.
Well, listen, we should all have high standards for ourselves, Right. But no, like we all been talking, and like we've been talking on this interview, it's a journey. So, exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's awesome though. Mate, that sounds like there's a future plan there, brother.
Yeah.
That sounds like there's a future plan there. And good luck if it does, formulate to that plan that you were thinking of.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. And yeah, man. Do you have any questions for me?
No. I think what you're doing is awesome, man. I think I think you should keep on grinding away at this. I think having this kind of platform for people is very cool. I think you're pretty. I don't know how many interviews you've done, but you're a natural. So keep at it.
Thanks.
I think this is going to be something that more and more people, if you can get it out there and get enough people, I think it's going to start having a momentum on its own. Sure. And don't sell yourself short. Try to get the big interviews if you can. Try to get the guys that we talk about.
Yeah,
it doesn't hurt to reach out.
I'm definitely reaching out to everybody. I'm not a shy guy. Like to me, this is like cold calling. I work in sales, so I'm like, you know what? They answer, no hard feelings, and you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. So do I.
So like the extrovert, like I said, man, I'm just like, you know what? Send. What's the worst that can happen? It's a no without sending. That's how I'm seeing it. So, and luck so have it. I got some responses, man. Even some dudes I didn't even realize they would like. They saw some of my videos, bro. Like, you saw my video on YouTube, bro. Get out of here.
Very cool.
That to me was like, I'm on the right path here. Not because of like the clout that may be coming, but because of what I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing something good for the community and for the sport. And honestly, dude, I've been learning so much.
Yeah.
So much, bro. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. And I'm meeting so many people, man. So many people, so many wonderful people too. And the fact that I'm able to hear their experiences and share it with the world, it's I'm honored. It's truly an honor.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Man. Well, Ron, thank you again. Like really, it was an amazing story. Thank you for sharing all that with us.
No problem.
And let us know where we can follow you on Instagram. So when you start getting things kick off, we know where to reach out to.
So I knew this was going to come up, and I was kind of like laughing to myself earlier. So I'm 44, and I'm like, I've been late to the game with Instagram. So I got like 30, 40 followers, but I'm starting to post videos now, and I'm starting to like do my thing. So like, you know, maybe this will kind of help boost it up. But it's you can find me at Ron Cardillo on Instagram. That's it. You'll see me, my girl, and that's, you know.
Be sure to follow my boy Ron. Show him some love, guys. Be sure to hit that follow button. Like his stuff. This guy's smart, man. He has a lot of, like, not just the calisthenic background, but he has a lot of background, guys, and a lot of experience. And, you know, dude, that's what we're here for. Yeah. Show some love. So,
help each other, bro.
Exactly. Let's support him and support us, this channel. And, guys, thank you for watching the Calisthenic Hub. My boy Ron, be sure to follow. Like, oh, I'll cut that part out. Like, share, subscribe. You already know what to do, guys. Don't worry about it. I don't have to repeat myself. I don't want to get boring and repetitive. So do your thing, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Ron, awesome, you mind if we do? Thank you. Appreciate that. You mind if we do like a quick, like, you know, pose for the, there we go. That'll be for the thumbnail. That'll be for the thumbnail. So when a YouTube pops up, they'll see that when it comes up. You know what I mean?
Awesome. Very cool.
Bro. Nah, I really appreciate that, man. Listen, I'm going to shoot you a text message with both my Instagram pages, the one for the channel, and then my personal one.
Awesome. I'll make sure to like and post and do all that jazz.
And shoot me a video of you doing some front levers or some pretty cool shit, bro. Like I wanna you know, that'll be part of my segment. I usually interview them, and then I show them off on my Instagram, let the followers know that, you know, interview coming soon. And that's what it is, man. Yeah.
Cool, brother. I appreciate it, man. Very cool.
Yeah, cool. So show me a text, a video, whatever. You can shoot me an email, however you want to send it. I'll accept it.
Okay. Awesome, brother.
Ron, thank you again,
Thanks,
man.
Jeff.
And thank you for your time. Yeah, same here, man. And if you ever need anything, man, you know my number.
Same here.